did you get Microsoft to focus this much money on housing?
You know, we, all of the CEOs had a meeting and we talked about the amazing success that we've had economically, but really some of the challenges that had come about as a result of that, and really talked about housing affordability was at the top. And so they began the process of asking how could they help, and really stepped up and said, we're going to invest big time. We're going to philanthropically give some money to homelessness, $25 million. $250 million for low income, and importantly, for the first time ever, $225 million for middle income housing, because with the growth and the high cost of housing as a result of the growth, we have seen the affordability of middle income housing just diminish dramatically, so that we're pushing all of our middle income families out of the region.
Now, I recently sat down with Priscilla Chan to talk about the Chan Zuckerberg's big backing of another $500 million housing initiative here in San Francisco. Facebook is part of that. Genentech is part of that. And I asked why more companies seem to be wising up to their role in this issue. Take a listen to what she had to say.
This is a problem that exists that impacts the greater community. And they want to be able to be part of building the Seattle or the Bay Area into this place that people from all different backgrounds can come and be successful. And it's also understanding that looking at opportunities like the partnership where they can be part of being a durable solution.
Now, one of the things she also mentioned was that this is a talent issue. It's difficult for companies like Facebook to recruit to this area because it is so expensive, even for people making very competitive tech salaries. Why do you think companies like Microsoft and Amazon are on board? What's in it for them?
Well, I think what's in it for them is not only their ability to recruit and retain, but importantly, and the number one subject these CEOs have discussed is, if you can't have the people that help you when you're sick, teach your children, respond to fires, respond to natural and unnatural disasters, and by that I mean law enforcement officers, firefighters, teachers, nurses, you don't have the fabric of a community. And if you don't have that kind of economic diversity and people can live where they work, you lose the vibrancy, the health of your community at large, which is very important to them. Let me give you a specific example. Of the 100 responders from one of our local utilities that does first response in case of loss of electricity and so on, 3 live within close proximity to where they actually work. The rest are over 90 minutes away. Everybody is impacted when that happens. So it's economic impact, it's social impact, it's quality of life impact, it's health, it's safety, it's an impact in every way.
Now, Jeff Bezos and Amazon are also part of your coalition, and yet many people in Seattle would say they're a big part of the problem, if not the problem. How do you balance that?
So, we have enjoyed the amazing positive success of economic development in our region. Now we know, along with that, has come some significant challenges. So what we're in the process of doing is, yes, Microsoft stepped off first in big time, and amazing credit to them. But now we're going to ask the community at large to support. We've asked our mayors to step up, and they've all volunteered to see what they can do to break down their barriers and provide incentives for middle-income housing that do not exist today. We've asked our community to support those mayors so they can get the job done. So we call it an all-hands-on-deck effort. At some point, we're going to ask anybody and everybody in the community, not just large business, but all business, not just business, but the community at large, to invest in the future of our community if we want to maintain the quality of life that brought us here or why we've stayed here.
Do you expect Amazon to play a financial part in fixing the housing issue in Seattle, similar to the commitment we've seen from Microsoft?
We're having a meeting of all of our CEOs tonight to have that discussion about how do we go about getting more people to invest along the lines of Microsoft. How do we get individual philanthropic people to invest in our community? How do we get the average citizen maybe to buy a community bond that will support middle-income housing? So again, it's not just Microsoft and Amazon. They are stepping up. They're going to be supportive. They're part of the solution. but it's everybody being part of the solution, because we all want the quality of life that brought us here or kept us here.
Why have these sorts of pro-development policies been difficult to accomplish in the past? I mean, there are, I assume, a number of political and practical challenges you're going to be up against.
No question about it. We actually took a look around the world, in Sydney, Australia, and London, England. They said they raised capital from the private sector, but they did not succeed in addressing middle-income housing. And the main reason they did not was because they couldn't break down some of the policy barriers or provide some economic incentives to developers and builders to get the job done. So that's why we have partnered with the public sector. We think we cannot succeed private alone or public alone, but together with the community's support, there's nothing we can't do.